Hi guys, and welcome to the first of the Wave 21 attack wing reviews. I'm going to start with this one, which is the Cardassian ATR 4107 or missile, or affectionately known as the Dreadnought missile from Voyager Season 2. Episode was, of course, Dreadnought. As a model, it's pretty good actually. The detail on here is really impressive. They've got a lot of the sort of weathering on there as well. I mean, that might be from my fingerprints. But I think it's a really good model. It's something we haven't seen a lot of, so I don't think there's been another model of the Cardassian Dreadnought missile done. There's certainly not been one in the Starships collection, and this is the first one that I've kind of had my hands on. And I'm really impressed with it. The surface detail's really nice, some really nice paneling, good paneling lines on there, and the detail all around it is actually fairly decent. So you've just not got a flat underside. They've actually bothered to put some of the raised panel lines in, a bit of surface weathering, bit of raised edges, and I'm quite impressed with it, even down to the little engines on the back, which you'll see on the cart. You've got there's two engines here, and then two further ones on the outside edge, and these two engine pods as well on the side. So I think it's a really nice model, and for attack wing it is something completely different. We've had uncaptained ships before, so you've had your Federation attack fighters, the Scorpion fighters, the Hideki fighters, but with this one it is a true unmanned weapon, and that's exactly what you get with the pack as well. So as you can see from the stats on here, we've got a 6 in attack, 0 for defense, 4 hull, 5 shield, so it is pretty offensive, not in that kind of sense, but in the fact of it being a very heavily aimed towards attack rather than a support ship with those 6 attack for your primary dice. As for your features, you've got a evade, target lock and scan as your standard ones, and I will come to shortly explain why I've got one of these on and why it's got a captain skill of 1 as we go through the remaining stats on the ship. Okay, so let's move on and have a look at the cards. Just pull them out of the way. As we said, it is the Cardassian Dreadnought missile, so we'll start off with those, and we'll just take a look at the main stats to begin with. So it has, as we said, 6, 0, 4 and 5. You've got 1 tech slot, 3 weapon slot. Again, kind of fits with the missile thread of this one. It's down as Dominion faction because we haven't got Cardassians specifically, and Cardassians were part of the Dominion Alliance in DS9. You can't assign a captain or an admiral to the ship, but when defending during the compare results step, you can discard 2 of your upgrades to cancel or equal number of the attacking ship's dice. Really nice. Again, it's kind of that idea that you've got a sort of internal security system with it. There is some internal defences that are kind of fighting back. So not necessarily using the rolling effect, but you're kind of getting it straight away and automatically getting a result through the unique feature of the Dreadnought. 30 points as well. So it is one of the more expensive ships that we've got as a basic model, as one of the smaller models. But it's I've got to say, for what you get with it, really impressive. And the speed as well, really good, top speed of 5. You've got a good set of movement at ranges 3 and 2. You are incurring a couple of reds, which will mean you're going to be looking at auxiliary power tokens just about there. But yeah, I've got some greens again at 1. And you've got a good range of manoeuvres at those sort of early speeds. But at least you can get in and out of trouble pretty effectively with that top speed of 5. Looking at the generic version of the ship, as we always do, you are losing one of your shields and that tech upgrade to bring you down to 28. Again, you can't assign an admiral or a captain to the ship, nor do you have that unique action which you get with the Starship. As you say, as well, look at the engines that you can see on there. So you can see they're illuminated, and they are those pieces that I just showed you on the model as well. So there you go. That is the Dominion Starship, as it's called. I would have liked it to be called a Cardassian Starship or a Cardassian missile, but hey, you know, we can't kind of pick what we're going there. As I said, there's no captain card for this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to launch straight in and look at the tech options that we get with this. There are 3. The countermeasures, there's evasive attack route, and there's kinetic detonator. So what we'll do is we'll start with kinetic detonator, costing you 4 points, tech upgrade. Action for this one, discard this card and one of your weapon upgrades to inflict 1 damage to all ships within range 1. One thing and that includes this ship. One thing you'll find with this pack is that it is very much about attacking a lot of targets within a close range. That it's a lot. You're not really looking at just one specific target with the weapon. It's about a lot of damage, very close range. It's a really nice one. You are getting every ship within range 1. It is kind of situational that you need effectively to make this worthwhile having two or three ships around you to be looking at doing that kind of damage. But it is a nice card. 4 points for discard. That's fairly reasonable, I'd expect at this point. Second up, we have Evasive Attack Route. 5 point card again. Sorry, 5 point card. Can only be purchased for a Cardassian ATR 4107 missile, which is the Dreadnought. When defending during the modifier defense dice step, you can discard the card and discard one of your weapon upgrades to place 2 evade tokens beside your ship. Again, very much around this kind of self-sustainability, self-preservation side, that it's either attacking everything really close to stop it getting attacked, or as we are here, you can disable the card, which is great because then you'd have to get rid of it. You can use it again, but you do get to discard one of your weapon upgrades, which you've got 3 to use from, to gain you 2 evasive maneuvers. So you haven't got, so yeah, really good card there, giving you that bit of evasion. Considering you've got 0 for your defense, it's going to help you quite a bit into as you go through the game. Countermeasures is the last one of the tech upgrades. When defending during the roll defense dice step, you can discard this card to roll 2 extra defense dice, or 2, as you'll have none to start with. Immediately after that attack is completed, you may perform a 2 dice attack against the attacking ship. So unusually, if you've already attacked, which won't happen because you've got a captain skill of 1, so let's say you can attack basically straight away, and then you've still got your attack later in the game, so it's a good one. You're getting 2 attacks out of your round. It is a discard for 5, but you are getting the effect of a counter attack and a way to score back if you've lost some points. Costs extra 5 points if you're using it on anything else other than the Cardassian Dreadnought missile, and no ships can have more than 1, which is not a surprise, seeing as it's actually a really good feature to have. The thing is, with it being really mainly for the Dreadnought, you're only going to get 2 attack dice out of it. I see a lot of these cards are adding new attack dice in, but you're starting with a score of 0, so you're getting an average kind of number if you were using any other kind of ship. Next up, let's look at the big guns on this one, and there are 4 cards which we're looking at here, which are the weapon slots. We'll start off with this one, Plasma Wave. So it's a 3 for attack, which is half of your initial primary weapon. It's only effective at range 1, and it's going to cost you 5 points. You can discard this card to perform attacks, which is a 1 use, and you can fire this weapon at any enemy ship within range 1. Again, a weapon that you can use on multiple targets, but you are losing the effectiveness of that 6 attack to begin with. But that means if you've got sort of 2 or 3 ships around you, you can use this a lot more effectively and take 2 or 3 of them out in one go. So it's a really good piece of kit to use, giving you much more flexibility. And also, if you've got a lot of ships coming at you, you've got the option to take out a few of them at the same time. So I really like this one. Very nice. Again, only being able to be used with the missile. Understandably, it is another one of those kind of offensive countermeasure weapons that this is going to have. Next up, Thoron Shock Emitter, 5 attack dice, so just 1 less than your primary weapon, but it is effective at all ranges and costs 5 points. During the attack phase, you can spend a target lock, discard this card to perform attack, so similar to photon torpedoes, and you can reselect any of your attack dice and re-roll. So effectively, it is almost like using a target lock and a photon torpedo, but you don't get to convert either your battle stations or another feature, or blank results, sorry, over to a damage or a critical damage, as you would do with the torpedo. So a little bit less power with that one. You do get to re-roll, but there's no guarantee that you're going to get anything out of that one. Still quite an effective weapon. Target lock, interestingly enough, and a discard of the cards. There's no time tokens or anything on that. In fact, you'll see from wave 21 and 22, which we'll be doing shortly, that there aren't really a lot of time tokens involved with these. Quantum torpedoes, as if by magic. 6 points for this one. Range is 2 to 3, cost of 5. Pretty much your standard photon torpedoes. However, it has the additional bonus. Yes, it does have the 3 time tokens for the quantum torpedoes. If a target ship is hit, you add 1 damage result to the damage. If it's fired from an ATR 4107, you add 1 additional damage result to your total damage. So my thoughts on this are that says exactly the same thing. If a target ship is hit, you add 1. But if you if you hit it from the target, if the target ship is hit, you add 1 result. If it's fired from a Cardassian ATR 4107, you gain an additional damage result. So you get effectively 1 damage result whether you hit that ship or not using this card on a 4107. So very, very effective for 6 points. It is a shame that it is a well, no, it's not really a shame. It's a time token. So I was going to say it's a discard, but it's not. It's a time token, so a pretty good card to have that one. I would certainly say this is worth having on your missile. Finally, the utter annihilation weapon that you get with this is the Matter Antimatter Warhead. Antimatter Warhead, which is for 7 points, range, and can be effective only at range 3. Going to cost you 7 points as well to pick it up. Use your target lock and discard the card. So it is a 1 use for 7 points, but if it hits, you place an auxiliary power token beside all the ships within range 1 of the defending ship, so you can fire it from your forward arc, but it will, and it's effective. Literally, you hit the target, and then if it hits, everything else around that ship is then going to be affected as well. So it's a really broad ranging weapon. Again, something that's going to have a lot more impact than just the one ship that you might be aiming at. As we've seen with a lot of stuff within this pack, it's all about causing substantial damage across a much larger spread than we've seen previously, and certainly seen in the last sort of 5 or 6 waves of attack wing. The final upgrade that you actually get with the pack is one called Maintenance Crew, which does not require an upgrade slot. It's a cost of 6 points, and it's got the all question mark in the corner. You add 1 crew upgrade slot to your upgrade bar, so you can put a person on there. How many of us will be thinking about putting Balana on there as an option? During the planning phase, you can discard the card and 1 of your crew upgrades to repair up to 2 damage on your ship. So if you think about it, you've got 4 hull, 5 shield. Potentially you've got, it doesn't actually specify there if it's hull or shields that you're going to be repairing, but again, it's about that self-sustainability. You put somebody on board that ship, you've got a little bit more life to be playing with, and it's going to benefit you certainly to get maybe 1 more round out of the ship, or maybe even help you to get away from whatever's coming for you. So yeah, nice one, really like that. Decent little card, putting a crew upgrade onto the ship. Nice move. The final bit, of course, is the 2-player scenario, Planetoid Alpha 441. It is loosely based around the episode Dreadnought from Voyager. It's really about the mission that it was sent on before it went spinning off into the Delta Quadrant, and the mission is effectively to destroy the outpost that it was originally sent on. So you start with your Dominion ship, which is your missile here. You've got your independent ships, and you've got your base on this planet. The job for you is to destroy this. The job for them is to stop you. And that's basically it. A little spin on the old 2-player scenario, gives you something to fight against. They say you win if you destroy the munitions base. Alternatively, you win if you destroy all the independent ships, players' ships. Because effectively, once you've done that, you're going to just be able to destroy the munitions base. And the independents just to destroy the Dominion ships. So yeah, a nice little game there. A good choice of independent ships for you to use as well, if you don't want to use your Maquis ones, or you've got 3 or 4 of those raiders. But yeah, nice little scenario. So that's it, and that is the Dreadnought missile, the Cardassian ATR 4107. I really like it. I think it's got some great little upgrades in there. Very, very different choices. As we can see, it's got a captain skill of 1 because you have no captain on there. But I really like what it does. I think it's very, very different. It's going to give certainly the Cardassian / Dominion faction a lot of different things to play with, and I really look forward to using this in the game. Next up, I'm going to look at the Bajoran Solar Sailor. That'll be the second one from Wave 21. My opinion on it is interesting. Hopefully you will find it an interesting review, but I will see you shortly. As usual, if you like this, give me a thumbs up, drop a comment on. If not, it's been a pleasure, and we'll see you soon.
Transfer complete.